Hey gang, Sally here. Hope you're having an amazing and fascinating day. I know I am. And I am super excited because I've got a real travel day today. I'm recording this on March 26, 2025, and it's currently, like 5:15 in the afternoon. So I've arrived at my campsite, so I got here safely. That was good news. And, I'm all set up and everything's cool. I'm going to bring you some stuff over the past few days, and it's a little bit disjointed, but I'm doing it also because it's a little bit of, life is what it is when you're an injured nomad. So let's talk about injury updates first, because this whole living with a broken foot on the road thing, this has been a thing, and it still is, and it's going to be this way for quite a while yet. So, hang on a second, I don't want my TV to turn off. See if we can stop that. Sorry. So how's the injury? I did pretty well today. I'm pretty tired because although the drive was really only about 140 miles altogether by the time I made stops and stuff, I left at 8:30 this morning. It was 2 o'clock in the afternoon by the time I got to this campsite, and that makes for a fairly long day, especially when it's my first travel day and I'm doing everything on my own, except my friend Barb still walked Kit this morning, so I didn't have to do that, but I'll have to do it tomorrow morning. I'll be back to that regular routine of doing everything myself. And so I can't tell you how grateful I am that they came and rescued me from Tucson, brought me back to Quartzsite, and took excellent care of Kit and me for basically almost the last 7 weeks. Yeah, Thursday will be 7 weeks since I've been back almost. I think will be 7 weeks since I've been back in camp. 7 weeks since the injury, at any rate. So, here's what's been going on. Back on March 22nd, 4 days ago, we saw that the temperatures were starting to ramp up. It was starting to get hot. So, like first thing in the morning, I went ahead and moved my rig and changed the angle. I've been having a lot of difficulty over the past year with my refrigerator, as you probably have seen in previous videos, and we tried all kinds of things to fix the problem, including things like making sure I stayed parked in the shade and, running on propane, not electricity, all of the things we could possibly do to minimize the effects of higher temperatures affecting how well my fridge worked, including having an RV tech come out and build a baffle at the top of the refrigerator, which is supposed to help redirect the airflow and keep it cooler. None of that really worked. And in fact, I could already tell, like the day before I moved, so on March 21st, my fridge was already heating up. It wasn't even that hot outside, but because that side of my rig was in the sun, my fridge temperature got up to like 52, 53 degrees. And it wasn't that hot out yet. So I was a little bit concerned about that, and for that reason, I decided to go ahead and change the angle, even if it made me less comfortable with the sun hitting on the campsite, on the passenger side. I was going to put up with it because I don't want my fridge to get hot. So I think that's the first clip that's going to be coming up after we roll the intro. And then Kit was just a complete and total mess. He desperately needed a spa day, so he got a spa day in part outside. I can't trim his nails, but Barb helped hold him still and keep his tail in the right places while I trimmed up his tail and trimmed up his, I call them chaps. He gets really long hair that goes down off of his butt cheeks. It's pretty cute, but when it gets long enough, he kind of drags it around the ground when he's spinning around in circles to, do the thing that little dogs do when they spin around in circles. Use your imagination. And so we did all of that, and that was pretty cool. And then what else do we have for you today? Got quite a bit of stuff. Oh, and so I actually shared with you the noise my refrigerator was making. I think that's the next thing coming up. Let's see if that's right or not. Yeah, so the next thing I share with you is the noise that my refrigerator was making. And I recorded it. I actually stuck my phone with the video recorder on in my refrigerator so I could record the noise as close to the source as possible, and I'm glad I did. Because, spoiler alert, I think my problems are finally solved, so how cool is that? And then on Sunday, my friend Victoria, who stays in Yuma during the wintertime, came up with another friend, Beverly, and picked me up, and we went to hear Cassandra Long Band play at Beer Bellies in Quartzsite. That was the first time I'd been able to get to Beer Bellies this season, so that was super cool. It was also my first outing without being on crutches. Also very cool. That was really exciting. And then yesterday morning, I was supposed to be heading over to, and I did, to RV Lifestyles to get this whole long list of stuff fixed that I needed to have fixed. And I started up my TPMS and I had a tire alert going that my inner rear dually on the driver's side was down to 52 PSI. And I'd been to RV Relief, in Quartzsite like less than a week ago, I think 6 days prior, and hadn't had any problem on my way there or my way back. But tires don't deflate generally as long as you're rolling, so it had a week to sit there and lose its air pressure. I don't know if I've got a tire problem or not. I think I'll be finding out for sure when I leave here tomorrow morning, because I got it aired up and then I went ahead and left. And then when I was leaving this morning, it was still at the same pressure that it was when I aired it up yesterday morning. So I think it might be okay. I think that issue might have been a not quite tight TPMS sensor. Keep in mind, guys, when we're driving RVs down the road, it's basically a rolling earthquake, and that means that everything rattles and a lot of things loosen. And I've had this happen before where I've had a TPMS sensor that loosens up just a little bit, and that allows the air to leak out of the valve stem, and then you get a flat or a semi-flat. So I'm pretty sure that's what the issue was. We're going to find out in the morning. In fact, I might even, no, I probably won't, because the sun is still on the driver's side here this afternoon, so my tire is still pretty warm, which means the pressure will be up regardless. I'll finish that sentence though. I was thinking I might even turn my TPMS back on and see what the pressure is at right now. But it was fine all day today, so I think I probably solved that problem. But that took extra time. And so I finally got over to RV Lifestyles, and I give you a little bit of a tour of what the place is like. And I didn't really talk a whole lot about everything that was getting done. So let me grab my list real quick. I think the last thing I'm going to do this evening, before I call it a day, is clean up all of the mess that I have. Here, I'll show you. See that pile there? That's all the receipts that I've accumulated in the past 7 weeks because I've been too lazy to deal with them. So I'm going to deal with them tonight before I call it a day. And here's my list from RV Relief. So let me tell you what all I had done. Sorry, RV Lifestyles. And I got to say, James and the crew did an excellent job. So one of my issues was that I needed a new awning arm because I idiotically backed into a sign at a Harvest Host location. I think it was in New York, back in like probably late August or September. Can't remember exactly when, but it's been quite a while. The arm itself was $518 and about an hour's labor to put it in. But here's a really cool thing. Not only did they get the awning arm installed, but they also recalibrated the awning. It works much better than it ever did previously. So that's very cool. And it's funny because it had this problem where when you push the button to extend the awning, the material would just kind of drip down the side of the coach, and you had to push it to get it to extend to start extending out. When I bought this rig at Camping World in Illinois, they couldn't fix it. They said, no, it's just that way because the awning's so long and heavy. Seems to work just fine now. So thank you, James and your crew. I've always been very happy with everything RV Lifestyles has done for me. I've used them a number of different times, including replacing that window that got shattered when my solar and lithium system got put in Texas. Did a great job with that as well. And then I added stuff on yesterday that wasn't originally on my list of repairs, like service my generator. So they took care of that. And I needed my roof resealed. I wanted all of the seals on all of the end caps and everything inspected to make sure I didn't have any potential leaking issues, because I'm heading for the Pacific Northwest this spring and summer where it actually does rain. And then the coolest thing, I am so glad I made that recording of the refrigerator noise, because as soon as I played it for James, he said, oh yeah, you got a bad fan. I'm like, okay. Well, it turns out, apparently, in order to be able to replace the fan, you have to pull the refrigerator. And since they were going to do that anyway, I said, you know, so can you like install a couple of those computer type fans that, you know, everybody does to help deal with the cooling problems? He said, well, I don't have any of those. He said, but since we've got the refrigerator out, I can put an additional original style fan in. He said, I've got several used ones that are just fine. And I think they were, what did he charge me for them? $25 a piece. So I now have 2 fans in the refrigerator, and I am convinced at this point my refrigerator problems are solved. So I'm pretty excited about that. He serviced my flooded cell batteries, which were original to the coach, and I've kept them as kind of a backup system. So I have 2 different systems. I have the flooded cell 6-volt golf cart batteries, and they're connected to the 1800 watt inverter that came originally with the coach. And then of course I have my whole big lithium solar Victron system that generally is what I use. But I'm keeping those, you know, those batteries as an extra backup. And then the other issue that I've had, the guys that did my solar install at the NRVTA did a really good job with it overall, and I think what they were trying to do with the way that they set it up in my rear compartment was to not put any additional holes in anything that weren't absolutely necessary. Well, there were really some additional holes necessary, and you'll see in the clip I showed from this morning before I left, sorry, I'm waving this around, I'm trying to hold the camera and my arm's tired. I show you a clip from just before I left this morning of what that repair turned out to be, and I think that's going to solve all of those problems as well. And then I also had a 110 or a 120 circuit breaker that was acting up, and they serviced that as well. So I think my maintenance is all done. I think my problems are all solved. And today was get out of town, so I did end up stopping at RV Pit Stop to top up my propane, because I just wanted to make sure I was starting today with full propane, because I knew when I got to where I am now, which is Big Bend of the Colorado State Recreation Area in Nevada, that I'd be able to dump my tanks and fill my tanks, thinking I was going to have to use the dump station. But as you'll see a little bit later, turns out I got full hookups, including sewer. So I am like good to go. Life is good. My first travel day back on the road, so far so good. I am super, super tired, but I am really grateful to be where I am right now. Tomorrow I'm spending the day at the DMV. I plan to bring you along with me and let you know what's going on with that, because hopefully I'm going to finally get this rig titled and registered correctly. Yeah, I said that out loud. It's been an absolute nightmare. Camping World kept screwing it up and screwing it up, and I finally said, I need to come back, just go to Nevada and get this taken care of. So that's what's happening tomorrow. As always, I want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to give a big shout out to my channel members. I'm going to give a big shout out as well to all of my campmates, which include my 2 channel members. Everybody was such a big help getting through this process of getting to the point where I'm able to travel again. I'm going to take it slow and I'm going to take it easy, because I really can't walk yet, and everything I do is still really, really tiring, but I'm glad to be back on the road, and I'm looking forward to seeing some new things and taking you along with me. So we're going to roll the intro, and then we'll play these, you know, extraneous clips of stuff that's been going on in the last week. And I guess the last thing I'm going to say is, this is pretty real time. I'm going to try this and see how it works out, where I'm going to publish as close to real time as I can. This will come out tomorrow morning, because I'll be gone. I don't want to publish something when I'm still in a campground that I just named for you. So it'll come out tomorrow morning, and then I'm going to just publish as frequently as I can with real-time stuff, and keep working on the backlog of travel videos that I've been putting together, so I can, you know, hopefully eventually get caught up so my travel and real time are all in the same time zone, so to speak. Again, thanks so much. Here's the intro.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
The temperatures started ramping up on March 22nd, And so I decided to change the angle of my rig in order to maximize the amount of shade on my refrigerator side and minimize, hopefully, the amount of sun on the camp side. The sun part didn't work out all that well. And basically, I'm driving through camp so that I can get oriented in the correct direction to do the best I can to minimize the amount of heat. It was okay. I ended up moving again a day later, just trying to find a slightly better angle after all of the repairs got done.
Kid, I'm just saying this doesn't seem very manly to me. Just between man to man here.
Two women poking around.
Yeah, his tail got super long.
Mm-hmm.
And so part of the reason that I cut his tail is that he spins around in circles when he poops.
And it gets caught in there?
Well, he reaches the point where he's dragging his tail through when he spins around. And
I noticed towards the end when I was walking him, he stopped spinning.
really?
Yeah, the last couple of times there was like a half a spin and that was it.
Oh, he's still spinning for me.
He might have been in a hurry the last couple times you walked him. And it's like, oh, half a spin, time to poop.
Kit, you're being a pretty good sport there, doggy.
He really is. He's doing an excellent job. He's doing a better job than I am.
The perspective's not as great as it was in the beginning because my arm got tired.
Whatever. Okay, let's see what we got. You can let us lay down now. Let's see what we got, Kitster.
Okay, I think this right here can just a little bit of a turn.
Oops.
Okay.
Hold still, Kit.
If you're looking at a sanitary cut.
I wasn't necessarily, but that's okay.
I'm sorry.
Nope, it's fine. I just wanted to get him neatened up
Yeah.
because he was looking way too fluffy.
Okay.
But I think we're able to do the other side too now
Yeah.
to kind of match him up.
Yeah. Just.
Kit's bored. He's yawning.
I know. He's such a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Kit, are you
That's
yawning?
good enough,
I
don't you?
think we gotta pull. Whoops, sorry.
This one?
No, like closer to his.
Leg.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that.
So is he ready? Is he down?
I think he's done.
All right, Kit. Kit, you did it, Kit. Kit,
Sorry,
Kit,
Rob,
Kit.
We made a dog hair mess all over your area.
Well, the
The
birds will
desert,
come.
the desert will consume it.
I'm sure it will.
Kit,
All the
what
quail
did you
and
do,
stuff will
Kit?
make a
Go see
nest
Rob.
of it.
Hey, Kit, come here.
Go see Rob.
Kit.
Kit,
Hey,
sir.
hey, Kit.
Come on, Kit.
What's going on, Kit? Hi, Kit. What? Kit, what happened? What happened? What are you doing, you crazy little dog?
He's going to be singing opera now.
Hi, Kit. Kit's a good boy.
Well, thank you, folks. That was much needed. Much needed. And look, I'm walking even without my cane.
Yeah, she
Without my
is. Look at her skipping around like,
Well, I'm taking inspiration from you, Rob.
And it's all because your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. Baby rolls around and it's time to go to town. Where you go to rock and roll? Where you go to rock and roll? Where you go to rock and roll? Where you go?
And so, this is why we have a TPMS. See that little red right there? So that tire's at 52 PSI, and I've got the compressor on it. It should be at 80. The outer's at 84. So this will take a minute. Well, while we're sitting here waiting for my tire to air up, let me point out a couple of things about how my TPMS system works. And I mentioned already that I'm lazy and I use this to check my tire pressures before I leave, which is exactly how I saw this red indicator. And at the time that was 52, now we're up to 65 PSI, 67 PSI. Okay, so we're getting there, we're making progress, but it's gonna take a while yet. And the blinking light tells you which tire it's currently looking at, so incorrect orientation. This is the front of my rig. So now we're looking at the front right tire. I've gotten used to being able to know what it means backwards, because when I'm sitting up in the cab, it makes sense to me from this direction. So that's the tire at issue. We're only up to 68 PSI. My compressor struggles a little bit once we get above like 65 or so. When it's got a long way to go like this, I might end up having to put the other battery in it to finish this up to get out of here. But my concern is, when I came back from RV relief the last time, and I'm gonna have to go back and see what day that was. Okay, see, now it thinks it's at 100 PSI. Oh, sorry, now it thinks it's 70. And it's up to 100 degrees because the air pressure going in is heating up the tire. So that's why that's up to 100 degrees already when the rest of them are like 59. 59 on the shaded side that we're sitting on. Let's wait until it gets back around 57. Yeah, 82 on the sunny side. So we're 82 on the sunny side, except for the tire that we're airing up, which is, oh goody, we're getting there. See, now we're at 102. We're up to 73. All right, I'm actually going to... Okay, so we're getting an alarm that says fast leak and low pressure. So we're down to 71 PSI, or we're at 71 PSI. I'm going to stop the alarm. And it still says we're at 102 degrees in temperature. And as I said, that's because we've been creating more heat as we've been adding more pressure. So I probably got a problem with that tire. The good news is it's a dually. So although not ideal, I can actually drive on it. So that's what I'm going to do, because I'm on my way in to get repairs done on my rig. So let's get going. So this is the repair for my battery sliding forward and interfering with this latch closing. Look at this. So we've got a steel plate that is screwed into the shelf here. And then in my original installation, they had used these supports. You can see the over here, the little cutout, but they didn't actually attach them. So now they're attached to this shelf. So everything is supported, nothing's going to move. I feel much better about this, and I will be able to close my thing and my compartment and lock it up, and everything will be great. So that's cool. I am here at Big Bend of the Colorado. I happened to get a utility site because people left today early. Look at this. Just look at it. It's enormous. And when I say utility site, I thought I was getting water and electric, which are already hooked up and running, but I also have sewer. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and dump my tanks and rinse them. Probably do that tonight because I don't want to be messing around with much stuff in the morning. And my awning works again, so I can put my awning out. Actually, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put my awning out a little bit and get some shade on the side of my rig, which will help the dishwasher, help the air conditioner work more effectively. Because I'm sure, what do you think, Kit? I'm sure we're running AC for a long, long time. Oh yeah, much better. So, the other thing to notice is, I always had this problem with my awning not going out. It would just kind of like roll down the side. And they could never fix that. They didn't fix it when I was at Camping World. Be right back, Kit. They didn't get it fixed while I was at Camping World. And so it's just always done that. But then when they put the new awning on at RV Lifestyles, and they did adjustments, and now the daggone thing works correctly, and I think I'm gonna end up putting it out all the way because it smells a little bit moldy. So we'll let some sunlight get on that while I'm here and it's not windy. But yeah, I lucked out. And then I think I'm gonna take a look at the computer and everything, but I think I'm probably gonna come back to this campground tomorrow and take a primitive site and just run my generator as needed, because it's going to be like in the mid to upper 80s tomorrow instead of the mid to upper 90s today. So there you have it. It's actually not terrible standing here in the shade. So I'm just waiting for my water tank to fill up, and I need to be at the DMV in Laughlin tomorrow, so I want to get as much done this evening in order to be ready to go there tomorrow morning. So I think, you know, when it cools down just before dark, I'll come out and I'll dump my tanks, and then I'll disconnect my water hose and switch it back over to dry camping. Oops, here comes somebody. So these guys just came through to make sure that I legally belonged here, and they put a tag on my post. My water tank is now full. I'm going to let that drip and overflow. I'm going to take a shower after I eat, and I'm going to be clean and cooled down and inside until this evening. Perfect. So we've got the AC going, but let's check on this repair from yesterday. I am at like 36, 37 degrees, and it's 95 outside today. Actually, let's see what my outdoor thermometer thinks it really is. Oh, it thinks it's 102 back there, and it is sunny on the side. So yeah, I think we might have solved the refrigerator problem. That is awesome. Okay, I'm gonna get something to eat, then I'm gonna work on travel plans, because beyond going to the DMV tomorrow, I have no idea what else is going on over the next month and a half or so.